Hey, this is Paris from Paris Christian Life. I hope you guys are well. So this is Biblical Wisdom Wednesday, episode 5. I just want to jump right into it. So we're going to be talking about the Titus 2 woman. And as we know, the Titus 2 woman is not discussed as much as the Proverbs 31, but Titus 2 woman, she's pretty powerful herself. So I'm going to read from Titus 2, starting at most likely verse 3. So it reads, and I will be reading in the New King James Version. So it reads, the older woman likewise, that they be reverent in behavior, not slanderers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they admonish the young woman to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, homemakers, good, obedient to their husbands, that the word of God may not be blasphemed. Now I know, let's say some of the doctrine of the world will say, this almost sounds like slavery. They're trying to push us back into, kind of what our own grandparents went through in the 50s and things. But this is the word of God. And I feel like sometimes people try to misconstrue how the word is laid out, which God is not a God of confusion. He's very clear on his order and how things are supposed to be done in the household. As we know, men, the husband are the head, women are the support. So that's where we kind of come help support. So especially, I know some people are like, what about the obedience to your husband? There's a way to be submissive to your husband where it ain't like slave ship. Like he's leading you. So what does this mean when it comes to our role as a homemaker? I call myself a house manager. We kind of just manage the household. Like me and my husband, we're on one income. So we have to watch what we spend. We can't just go frivolously go spend. And we're not, my family's not typically that type of person anyway. But we have to kind of watch our steps more compared to, families with two incomes. So, just groceries. I'm trying to get better with meal planning. I love a place called Address Standard where you can try to get cleaner meals because I also want to try to watch what I eat because that's a whole nother conversation for another day. Just trying to bulk buy when you can, but you also got to be careful with that because if you just buy a whole bunch of food and it go to waste. But what I'm trying to say is we have to watch more than like I said, the normal couple when it comes to just frivolously spending out in this world. But the homemaker is so important. I always heard the phrase, the woman is the temperature of the home. And that is very true. If a woman is happy that day, she can set a happy household. If she is in the mood that day, she can have a household that's flustered and your children are running everywhere. So homemakers are very important. We kind of just help the household run smoothly, trying to clean. I'm trying to get better at decluttering, trying to rid of things you don't need so you can think more clearly. Washing, dishes, trying to make meals from scratch that are nutritious and not full of all the junk. Trying to take, kids to and fro. My kids are very young. They're 4 and 2, but like just taking them to appointments. So managing your calendar, managing your finances, which we know is another big thing that a lot of us need help with because we know God also says in Proverbs that we need to try to not be a slave to the lender. And we know how this country is with the exploitation of us always borrowing money. I'm not saying all borrowed money is bad because if you can figure out how to borrow money and then turn to a business investment where it can bring you money back, that's where it's beneficial. But the point is, we as homemakers set the standard in our household. We really have to be intentional about just even if we can try. And I know I struggle with this, trying to start the day with the Lord. Just no screen time, unless you're watching maybe a YouTube video like this or something you're doing a Bible study where it can just help give you clarity, pour into yourself biblically, spiritually, in the day if you can. But everybody's day different. I'm not telling you how to start your day. If you can just try to figure out how to fit in the word before your kids wake up, that'll be one word of advice. And then that might help set the tone for your day, because we still also have to take care of ourselves. That's stewardship, right? We're stewards, really. Homemakers, everybody in this world, we're stewards of what God gave us. God owns everything in this world. We own nothing. So the point is, we were giving the stewarded gift to steward our home. So we have to learn how to do that. And yes, it can be overwhelming. I get it. I am overwhelmed and I'm trying to do better at that myself. But I figure out, if you can figure your own rhythm out in your own home and individualize it to your family's needs, that can help you a lot better. Like, I even want to start doing okay, if I can get a task done within 15 minutes, boom. Or even start timing yourself. If you can get this done quickly. I don't even want to get better at trying to clean dishes as I go, because I bake bread a lot. And I want to make a lot of things at home because there's so much junk in the food at the store. Also being submissive to your husband, trying to keep the environment, in your household just calm, cool, collected, where your kids don't feel the energy. Because if there's an energy between you and your husband, then your kids, it might show off in their behavior. The moms that get it know. And then also just loving on your children. Psalms 127 talks about how children are a gift from the Lord and how we should stretch them, how we should help form them to be wonderful children of God in this world. And in this world, we know it's not that easy. But I would also say too that what I'm also trying to work on is meekness and being a little more gentle and trying to tend to the needs of my children and meet them where they're at, where they understand, and talk to them as little humans and not as an adult. That's what I'm working on. I know a lot of us other mamas might have to work on. The point is, as a homemaker, we're just here to really be the temperature of the household, help keep it together. We support our husbands the best way we can, and then we nurture our kids. We help raise them in this world through the eyes of God, and just try to support. But I also am an encourager too of women having some type of self-care, because as stewardship, we have to also care for ourselves in order to show for our families the best way we can, right? We can't just, try to do everything and pour into everybody else and we can't pour into ourselves. So one thing I just did, I just got my hair done. And then also Mother's Day, I went and got my feet done the day before. Just doing little things. Go get you some, clothes if you can afford it in your budget. I'm not saying don't got a budget, just do something for yourself, even if it's just for a walk. It doesn't even have to be materialistic. Just go get in nature. You know what I mean? Just try to figure out what is something that you want to do. I want to just knit. I know that's kind of grandma like, but I want to learn how to knit. And I used to sew, took sewing classes at my church when I was a child. That's something I would like to try again. So I would encourage you to just really sit down and think, how can I run my household in the eyes of God as a homemaker the best way I can? Now, you can watch a lot of videos like this and be overwhelmed. I don't want you to do that. You have to figure out how to do it the best way you can for yourself. And hopefully through my channel, which please subscribe if you're not, would love for you to journey with me here. Well, as we talk about just how we can be better stewards of our home and stewardship in general. Maybe we can all learn together how to collectively be better managers of just our households in the eyes of God. So I hope you guys are blessed. Hope this blessed you. Please remember to subscribe and have a blessed day.